learn regarding classification of plants. Now last year already we have revised regarding various issues related to the classification. Why classification is carried out? The reason why the classification is carried out is that there should be easy way to study various categories of things. Then it can be any living organism like plants, animals, microorganisms, etc. Now last year when you studied regarding fungi, you studied regarding protozoans, you studied regarding bacteria, viruses, etc. Now when we carried out the study of these organisms, the very first concept which was taught to you was regarding the five kingdom system. Now what is this five kingdom system? All the living organisms in this world, they are categorized or classified into five different groups according to their body organization. So what was the basis of this classification when this classification of living organisms was carried out? The very first basic concept or the very first basic criteria which was applied was whether the cell of the body is prokaryotic or eukaryotic. Now what is prokaryotic? The cell which does not have well-defined nucleus as well as it doesn't have good cell organelles with a proper membrane. What is eukaryotic? Eukaryotic cells are those cells which have well-defined nucleus and other cell organelles. So separately we can see each and every cell organelles in case of eukaryotic cell. While in case of prokaryotic cell, separate nucleus is not seen or separate any other cell organelle is not seen. But nuclear material as such is present in those cells. Then bacteria, viruses, these are the example of prokaryotic cell. It is the very primitive cell. Then the next one is eukaryotic. Eukaryotic is again further categorized based on the number of cells like unicellular or multicellular. What do you mean by unicellular? When the body of the organism is made up of only single cell. For example, amoeba, paramecium, euglena, these are the organisms whose body is made up of a single cell. So unicellular organisms where the organism's body is made up of a single cell. Multicellular, as the name suggests, when the body of the organism is made up of many cells. Now when this again further classification is carried out, all the protozoans whose body is made up of a single cell, they are included in a single kingdom, that is Protista. So all unicellular organisms, they come in Protista. Then multicellular organisms are again further classified as whether they have cell wall or the cell wall is absent. So if the cell wall is present, again based on the mode of nutrition, these organisms are classified as autotrophs and heterotrophs. Heterotrophs means all the fungus is included, all fungi they are included in heterotrophs because they are non-green plants. They don't have chlorophyll for synthesizing their own food. So all the fungi they are included in heterotrophs. Then what are autotrophs? Our green world, all our plants around us, the green world around us, all that is nothing but autotrophs. So they are the main producers of this world, or we can say this planet Earth. They synthesize their own food with the help of the pigment that is chlorophyll. And the last one, that is without cell wall. Without cell wall, all the animals on this earth, multicellular animals on this earth, they are included in that particular group, and that kingdom we call it as kingdom Animalia. So according to Robert Whittaker's five kingdom system, which was suggested by him in the year 1959, there are total 5 kingdoms. The first one is kingdom Monera, the second one is kingdom Protista, the third one is kingdom Fungi, the fourth one is kingdom Plantae, and the last one is kingdom Animalia. This was just a rough introduction of what you studied in 8th standard. Now this year you are going to learn regarding plant kingdom. Various classification criteria which are applied for studying different varieties of plants. So as told earlier, plant kingdom is divided into different sub-kingdoms, into divisions, etc. Now the very first criteria that has been applied for classification of plants is whether the plant is flowering or non-flowering. If it is flowering, then they are included in subkingdom Phanerogams. If it is non-flowering, it is included in the subkingdom Cryptogams. So we will start with the subkingdom Cryptogams where non-flowering plants are included. The second level of classification of plants is whether they have conducting tissues. Now what do you mean by conducting tissues? As we have blood in our body, blood is doing the work of transportation in our body. Same way for the plants also, there is a function of transportation which is carried out by a special group of cells. Those cells we call it as the conducting tissues. Two types of tissues are there, one is xylem and one is phloem. So the plants in which this is present, we call them as vascular plants. If it is absent in the plants, to them we call it as non-vascular plants. So cryptogams are again divided on basis of the presence or absence of this conducting tissues as non-vascular and vascular. In non-vascular, there are two divisions. The very first division is thallophyta. Now, what do we mean by thallophyta? I will just break the word and tell you. Thallus means flat, phyta means plants. Plants which have a flat body. They don't have roots, stem and leaves. Plants are green in color. Their habitat is aquatic. They are found in water and they can synthesize their own food by the process of photosynthesis, but they don't have true roots, stem and leaves. Mode of nutrition is also autotrophic. Everything same like plants, only roots, stem and leaves are not present. Plant body is completely flat, ribbon-like. So such plants, they are known as thallophyta. Examples: Spirogyra, Alwa, Cara. These are some of the examples. The next one, that is division Bryophyta. Bryophytes are also known as amphibian plants. Now what do you mean by amphibian? Organisms which can live on land as well as in water. Now these are the plants that require moisture for reproduction, and so only these plants are known as amphibian plants. Now example is moss. Now where do you find moss? See, during the rainy season we see wherever moisture is there. For example, if there is a leak to the water tank, so near to the water tank you can find a green layer developing, a green velvet cover developing. Small very minute plants are growing there. These are nothing but mosses or bryophytes. So such plants are bryophytes. As told you earlier, these are amphibian plants. They require moisture for their reproduction, and very important thing, only during the rainy season you can see uncontrolled growth of these plants, especially wherever moisture is seen, near to the steps where water is stagnant, wherever leakage is there near to the water tanks, there you will see the growth of such plants. Now these bryophytes, they have root-like structure, they have stem-like structure, they have leaf-like structure. But these are not true roots, stem and leaves. They all are false roots, false stem and false leaves. And so they are also included into the category of non-vascular plants. The third and the final division of cryptogams is Pteridophyta. This is the only group of plants which has vascular tissues. That means xylem and phloem is present. These are ornamental plants. They are shade-loving plants. You will find them in the deep forest, and at houses also they are kept as in the garden as ornamental plants. Appear very beautiful, pure green in color. They have small spores to the base of the leaves, and the most important thing regarding them, simple plant body structure they have stem, they have roots, they have leaves, but all these things are true stem, roots and leaves, not like the bryophytes. So again we will take a rough recap. Plant kingdom is divided into two sub-kingdoms. The very first, non-flowering plants, that is cryptogams, and the second one, flowering plants, that is phanerogams. Cryptogams is further divided into three divisions based on the presence or absence of vascular tissues. So if vascular tissues are absent, two divisions are included there. The very first one is thallophyta, the second one is bryophyta. And if it is vascular, then the third division, that is pteridophyta. So cryptogams are finally divided into three divisions: thallophyta, bryophyta and pteridophyta. So now as we studied these three parts related to cryptogams, in the next lecture we will see regarding phanerogams, all the flowering plants, how they are classified. The most important thing what I would like to say here, that these plants, they reproduce sexually as well as asexually. The plants like Spirogyra belonging to thallophyta, they reproduce by fragmentation, that is asexual mode of reproduction. Bryophytes reproduce by spore formation, again asexual mode of reproduction. Pteridophytes, they reproduce sexually as well as asexually. Asexually by spore formation and sexually by zygote formation. So these plants, cryptogams, they reproduce in both ways, sexually as well as asexually. So your today's work is, we have completed one complete criteria or one complete kingdom, subkingdom of plants, that is cryptogams. You have to learn difference between all these three divisions, as well as you have to learn all the characteristics of these three divisions and learn all the examples thoroughly. Thank you.